Go ahead. Did that work?
Yep.
All right. Welcome back to Pre-Algebra. Hopefully you've been okay doing your simple interest homework for section 7.5. I will be going over the homework. Make sure that you have it done though. Hopefully your parents have been able to help you. This is classwork 163. We're going to start talking about section 7.6. Compound interest. I have one parent that has always asked to do compound interest. You know who that parent is. Go get him right now. We've got homework 164 is going to be on page 268. Class exercises 1 to 9. Written exercises 1 to 8. Let's go ahead and recap what we have done so far with talking about interest. Remember, interest is the amount of money that you make on an investment. It can also be the amount of money that a company could charge you because you borrowed money. Okay? So we're going to talk about compounded interest today in terms of your money being invested in a bank. It would work exactly the same way if you borrowed money, but kind of in the reverse order. It would make you owe more money than gain more money. Let's talk about simple interest just to recap really quick. So simple interest, you find simple interest on an investment by taking your principal amount, which is your investment, multiplying it by the rate, and then the time. So let's use this example because then we're going to compare it to an example with compound interest. So let's take an initial investment of $1,000 at a rate of 5% for 3 years. Okay? 1,000 times 0.05 times 3. So this is 50. 50 times 3 is 150. So my interest is 150. So at the end of the 3 years, after I have invested my $1,000 at 3 years at 5%, I'm going to walk away, going to be able to take my money out and have gained $1,000 or have gained $150. Sorry, I can't talk today. That's simple interest. Now, we're going to look at today what we're going to call compound interest. And in short, compound interest is where your money makes money, and the money your money makes more money, if that makes sense. It's kind of like a snowball. And we're going to go back to this simple interest example, or my original $1,000, and see if I invest my money with compound interest as opposed to simple interest, which one makes more money. So let's go ahead and take our $1,000 again at 5% compounded. We're just going to use annually compounded, annually for 3 years. All right? I'm going to draw a snowball and you'll realize why in a minute. All right. I've got my original amount. I've got 1,000 at 0.05 for 1 year. So at the end of 1 year, what is in this snowball is 1,000. Let me erase that. We're just going to write, sorry, I should have organized this better for you. I've got 1,000 times 0.05 times 1 year because I have compounded annually. Okay? So at the end of each year, this is year 1. At the end of each year, my money is going to collect its interest. Does that make sense? Let me say that again. It's going to be compounded annually for 3 years. So I have my first year. So I've got my equation for interest. Same equation for interest. I've got my $1,000, my 5%, my first year. So at the end of my first year, I have $1,050. Okay, this is year 1. Well, because I've agreed to invest my money compounded annually for 3 years. I still have 2 more years left here. So my year 2, and this is how compound interest works, my snowball is going to get a little bit bigger because I'm not investing again at my $1,000. I get to use my new amount of $1,050. So I've got $1,050 at my 5% for this year 2. Does that make sense? All right, so I already crunched my numbers for you. So 1,050 times 5% for 1 year is going to give me $52.50. All right, let's think about this. The first year I got $50. The second year, my money, my interest that I gained my first year is going to help me get more than $50, $2.50 more, but it's still $2.50 that I wouldn't have had if I had used simple interest. So at the end of year 2, I have 1102.5. Okay, my snowball is a little bit bigger because my money has made money for me. All right, so then I have year 3. Okay, I have not my initial amount of 1,000. I have my end of year amount from year 2, which is 1102.5 times my 5% interest rate times my 1 year, and this is year number 3. So I've got, what do we have there? It's equal to 55.125. So at the end of year 3, I have $1,102.50 plus my 55.125 for a grand total of, what do we have? $1,157.625. All right, so let me tell you how this $1,000 compares to my $100,000 over there at simple interest. After 3 years of simple interest, so I put this money in, it sat there dormant. It didn't do anything for 3 years, and then when I got it out after 3 years, I got an extra $150. It's not such a bad deal. But if I had agreed to a different loan, take my same $1,000 at 5% compounded annually, so at the end of each year, I take my amount plus my initial amount plus my interest, and that becomes my new amount. So it's been compounded, it's been rolled back in, and I have a new amount. I am going to make another $7.63 on my initial investment of my initial principal of $1,000. So how can this help you? You can make more money if you compound it annually as opposed to just put it in for 3 years, let it sit there, after 3 years make $150. Okay, it works. Let's talk about how else you're going to see interest compounded. All right, you're going to have your time. You're going to have different lengths of time. Can't write for you, sorry guys. I'm going to have annually, which is 1 year. Okay, I could have semi-annually, which is every 6 months, which I'm going to multiply by 1/2. Okay, so my time, so my T and my, sorry, I erased this. So interest is equal to principal times rate times time. My time part, if it's compounded annually, my time is going to be 1. If it's compounded semi-annually, my time is half a year, so it's going to be half. If it's compounded quarterly, it's going to be 1/4. that would mean at the end of every 3 months. So January, February, and March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and then December. So 4 times a year, you're going to roll your invested amount plus its interest over. And then if you had monthly, so there's 12 months in a year, your time, your T in your equation would be 12. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to think of questions that I would be fielding right now. So let's look at another example. The example in your book on page 267, go ahead and read through that. I'm not going to rewrite that on the board. Go ahead and read through the top of page 267 too. All right, let's go with an example here on $500. So example 1, how much will a principal of $500 amount to after 2 years under the following conditions? So, important information here. This is your principal amount. Here we've got 2 years of time. Now, wait, stop. It doesn't mean that here in my equation I'm going to plug in 2. Okay? I am going to go back here to this time, and if I'm going to go annually, then I'm going to find out what it was after 1 year and roll that over at the beginning of the next year. So you're going to have to do a little bit more work. If I have semi-annually for 2 years, I'm going to have a half and a half and a half and a half. I'm going to have 4 different beginnings. If I have quarterly, you'll have 8. And if you have monthly, you'll have 24. Okay? Does that make sense? All right, let's go ahead and look here. So, letter A says 12% compounded annually. Okay? So, if I have my $500 compounded annually, just keep it there, compounded annually, that means I'm going to have my $500 times my 12%. So I'm going to have, so this is year 1. Okay? My $500 times my 12%, which should be what? 60, which is equal to 60. Okay? Now, I have to add that, so I begin year 2 with 560 because I add this and this to get this. Hope that makes sense. Multiply that by 12%, and which is $67.20. So at the end of this, I'm going to end up with, 560 plus 67.20 is $627.20. Okay, so you have to start it over. Let's go ahead working with that same example and go with a different amount of time. Let's go ahead and 12% per year compounded semi-annually. So 12% per year compounded semi-annually. So if you think of semi-annually, you think of maybe June and December. 6 months in, another 6 months in. So I'm going to have my original amount of $500 times my 12%, which is going to give me 60. Okay? This is after 6 months. Does that make sense?